Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm playing my primary playthrough. We're out here in the salt flats next to a little mining operation I've got set up. I'm going to let that churn away. I'm going to build me a new manufacturing base because I love to build things. This is my primary fast-moving vehicle. Adventure wheels, adventure missile launchers, and a couple of cruise missiles on it. It's my general purpose, move around, kill things vehicle. It's fairly agile. It's not the fastest vehicle I have, but it is maneuverable. But as I was saying, base building. What I want to do is make a manufacturing facility. Now, first things first, things love to attack and kill me when I'm trying to build things, so we're going to make a turret to watch over us. Turrets are a mainstay staple in this game, trust me. They keep you alive. And my favorite parts are the geocore blocks. Let's add a few more because this thing is going to need to be able to power. We're making a general purpose turret. Not only is it going to watch over us while we're trying to build things, it's also going to be a makeshift recharger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is a lucky number. Let's go with 7 batteries. All right. Now what we're going to need is a cab to control it. Go to our control blocks. Geocore cab. Alright. I don't know which way the arrow is facing, so we're about to change control to the turret. It appears we have the cab facing the right direction. Alright. First things first, we're going to adjust this up to here. Second things, we're going to use the extra missile launchers we have that we don't use for anything else. These things were indispensable when I first got them, but now they're just obsolete. I say obsolete, I hate that. Obsolete. Hate that word. They're not obsolete at all because they're still highly useful. There are other parts that are better. However, we have a bunch of these things and may as well use them. They still work great. And they're not as expensive to make as the other stuff. 6, we'll go with 8. Alright, we have 8 of the GSO missile turrets. They're not as fast or as powerful as anything else, however they do kill the bad guys fairly quickly. So that this thing can operate independently, we need to put an AI cab on it. Go back to our control blocks. Put him right there underneath. Now, he's going to need some shielding. Go to our Hawkeye stuff. Power units. Hawkeye repair bubble. I'll put the first one down here toward the bottom. First, we're going to orient it correctly. That should give enough coverage for both of them. Put the shield there, the other shield there, and that should take care of business. Now what we need to be able to do is charge the battery. We're going to go to our GSO block collection and grab all of the solar power generators. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For what we're doing, that should be more than enough. That's a nice little makeshift turret there to watch over what we're doing. Keep us from dying, hopefully. Let's go ahead and give it a radar. Probably doesn't need one, we're going to give it one anyway. Accessory tab, radar. Got all these parts I've collected that I never use for anything. Now what we're going to do is save it. Take a snapshot. We'll call this 1V turret. Now that's been saved as a snapshot, we can go to our load text thing over here. Go to 1V turret, And because I have so many of these parts and never use them on anything else, I can summon as many of them as I want. Well, as many of them as I have parts for. So there's no point in having all those parts in your inventory if you don't use them for something useful. Alright, now that we have a little guard entourage of turrets, we're going to come out here a little ways, and we're going to start building things. Now, I promised y'all a base, manufacturing base. This is my favorite method of doing it. I have no idea if there's a better way. There probably is. There's always a better way to do something. But I'm going to show you all the Jur method. I call it the Jur method. I developed this independently. Somebody else may have discovered it before me, so I'm not sure who. But anyway, without further pausing, manufacturing base. My favorite thing to do is to start with the GSO component factories. I've found that in order to keep things from getting hung up, the magic number is 8. And I've already screwed up, ladies and gentlemen. I've got them back to back. That is not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. As with anything else in the creative aspect game, it can be corrected. Now then, as I said, the magic number I found is 8. Alright, in order to make building this thing a little bit easier, we're going to go ahead and put a control cab on it. Transfer control of the base. And now we can start building things. While I'm thinking about it, we're going to go ahead and drop a SCU. Storage Compressing Utility, I think is what that stands for. It's a black hole that cleans up all your loose blocks. So in case I drop anything, that thing will pick them up. If only I could clean up my room like that. That thing is amazing. Okay. Now, in order to manufacture more advanced parts, you have to use the component dongles, which go onto your factories. You have 3 of them. You have the, what is this, the advanced one? Advanced component dongle. Then you have the level 2 complex component dongle. And then you have the level 3 exotic component dongle. Now, we're going to use 8 factories, but only 4 of each of the dongles. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go back to our GSO component factories that we have in storage. And we're going to flip them over as soon as it decides to cooperate. What I just do. I'm hitting G, F, and G on this. That's fine for the time being. All we're doing is trying to get them in place. We can rotate them and fix them later. And later is right now. Now I'm going to want to be able to feed this thing materials, so we're going to leave 1 space out on our conveyor belts. Select the conveyor belt. Right. On both sides. Now what we're going to do is have an alley-oop on both ends. Go back to our conveyor. Orient it until it goes straight up. Whoops. I keep moving so fast, I keep hitting the wrong buttons. Alright. Alright, it's not going to let me do it. So what we're going to do then is orient the treadmill over here, where it's out of the way. Go right down the middle between all of these factories. Go back to our GSO up conveyor. And now we have a perfect loop. 8 factories, 4 of each dongle, and it's a compressed loop, which makes it build things a little bit faster than you would think. However, we need to orient our top ones because they're, yeah. Just like that. You want the red bar facing in. So that is the front of your factory. Alright, now everything's facing the treadmill. However, the treadmill's not going the right way. It's going to pinch the items right there, so we're going to reorient it. Now it is all moving in one smooth loop. Okay, now from here we're going to want something to feed that. And my favorite way of doing this is to use the down conveyor. We're going to make a little pick off right there. And then we're going to make it loop back around like that. Now we're going to have our conveyor going straight down the middle, like so. And then we go to our GSO lots of silos. Put 4 of them down, just like that. Now each of these things holds about 90 resources apiece. Do the math, it ends up being about 360 of them. That's more than enough space for what we're going to be doing. Now from here, what we need to do is understand that I just messed up. Oh well, oops. No, I didn't mess up, we're fine. Okay, so, as I was saying, we're going to put our fabricators down here. We got 4 potential pickoffs that we can use, which may or may not work. I don't remember how the Hawkeye fabricator is laid out. Let's look at it. Hawkeye fabricator. Okay, we can use the Hawkeye fabricator. I was thinking its feed was going to be on the side. Alright, that fabricator is oriented to where it can actually pick off of this central conveyor belt. We're going to get our GSO fabricator. Orient it correctly. It is oriented. We're going to grab us a Geo Core fabricator. However, it can't orient that one because we built it too close to the ground. That's alright. Hit the B key, it raises up. Orient everything correctly. Press B again, and now it anchors a little bit higher up. We are in good shape. Whoops. Alright, our last fabricator is going to be a Venture one. Venture fabricator. And there you go. Now, I like to use the Geocore blocks for scrapping purposes. You get 24 units of each, and those are a little bit more manageable than the ginormous 120 block Geocore ones or the 64 block Blackhawk ones. So, we're going to take us our GSO thing and go to our GSO scrapper. After we get it oriented correctly, and put it like so. We're going to need a few more of these so that we can put all the fabricators in line. I'm sorry, scrappers in line. I apologize. We want to put our Geocore scrapper right there. Then we want to put Hawkeye scrapper. You have to right-click these things in order to get them oriented correctly. And if you don't do it just right, you'll hit one of the facilities and it wants you to craft something. Venture Scrapper. Alright, now we have scrappers lined up, we have fabricators lined up, and we have our factories lined up. Now what we're going to do is start scrapping blocks. We're going to go ahead and convert a Geocore Luxian block into several GSO blocks. We'll go to our fabricator. We're going to select GSO Luxian block and we're going to put it on repeat. And then we're going to go to craft. Now it's going to be fussing at us because it doesn't have anything to craft yet. That's okay, we're going to fix that. We're going to go to our Geocore Luxian block, hover it right over this, drop it, let it chew on it for a minute. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize, I forgot to put a pacemaker on this thing. You see how lethargic and slow it's operating? Pacemakers fix that. Put the pacemaker right there. Give it a second to think about what it's going to do. We're going to right click, turbo speed. And then it will spit out the 24 unit GSO blocks and put them into the SCU. Fairly straightforward, fairly simple, fairly compact. When I first started making manufacturing bases, there were some long, drawn-out affairs. This one's fairly small, fairly useful. Now, the yardstick that I use for measuring efficiency on these things is, can it make a cruise missile? I want to say the cruise missile is one of the most complex weapons in the game. Might work, it might not, I don't know. We're about to find out. Okay, we've converted one of our GSO blocks into one of our Geocore blocks into a bunch of GSO blocks for later. We're going to go ahead and cancel our manufacturing queue. And what we're going to do now is scrap one of each of the GSO blocks. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there's something I forgot to mention. The way these fabricators are lined up on the bottom down here, if you're not careful when they spit something out, these scrappers up here can grab them. So what you want to do is have an SCU somewhere nearby. Because the SCU is going to take priority over the scrapper pull-in. Alright, we now have a nice base, nice bit of resources there. We're going to try to manufacture a Black Hawk cruise missile. Go to our weapon tab. There's our cruise missile. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to need 1 titanic alloy, 2 fuel injectors, 1 ion pulse cell, 1 thermojet, and 2 of the seed AIs. The seed AIs are the worst thing to make. Alright, here we go. And we're off. Now, it takes it a minute to think about what it's going to do. It's thinking, it's taking resources, it's building everything as it goes. It's a fairly complex item, and it's got to build a bunch of the complex component parts first. Alright, we're thinking, we're crafting, we're going. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Cruise missile. And now we see the downside of a base this compact. Sometimes things get caught. But a little bit of tweaking and whatnot, this thing can be made to do just about anything. Another reason I like having these things small is you can do this with them. We'll go to our GeoCore tab, go to our wheel blocks, and get our tank tracks. You know what? If I was smart, I would have done this. Alright. That's not a problem. We can fix that. All we have to do is this. Go to our GSO tab, or even our Hawkeye tab. I like the black blocks better. Go over here like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put 2 more over here to even it out. And now our Black Hawk fabricator, I'm sorry, Hawkeye fabricator, now has dimensions similar to our GeoCore fabricator. I want you to slide all the way in, please. Come on. Orientate correctly. There we go. And now we have a nice little mobile manufacturing facility. I'm going to release the build button. And now we can drive around. A little bit ungainly, a little bit clumsy, but mobile. Okay, very ungainly. But there's you a basic compact manufacturing facility. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. And hope y'all come back, watch me build some more crazy stuff for TerraTech. Thanks for coming.